What's up guys, LeopoldTheBrave here, and welcome to another yearly tradition for my channel. This is the third year I'm doing it, I think? But anyways, yeah, I'm going to be covering 5 games that I want to see next year in 2020. And just like the previous 2 years, I'm not going to be covering any games that have already been announced, like Final Fantasy VII, Animal Crossing, etc. These are going to be totally brand new things that I just want to see pop up next year, whether they're just announced next year or announced and released. And I'm also going to try and avoid listing any games I've mentioned in the previous years. I'm pretty sure people already know that I want a new Punch-Out game, and I'm sure they're tired of hearing that I want Ape Escape remakes. So, with all of that said, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below what games you would like to see announced or announced and released next year, and let's begin. As you can probably tell from the thumbnail and the gameplay you're seeing on screen, game number 1 is a brand new Jak and Daxter. I'm not sure remakes will be the way to go considering how many re-releases the trilogy gets, but a possible reboot would be an interesting idea, because we haven't had a main series Jak title in so long, it leaves room to start over. Also, they'd be able to fix that weird tonal shift in between Jak 1 and 2, where Jak 2 is trying to be overly edgy and appeal to the parent-hating demographic. So yeah, a reboot where they could start the story over would be a really cool and fun idea to see. But please don't let Naughty Dog do it, considering what their initial plan for a Jak and Daxter reboot was, with a hyper-realistic Jak and a realistic animal non-talking Daxter. Now that wouldn't be very fun to see. I love Naughty Dog, but they do not care about the worlds and characters they create at all. They're just pixels on a screen to them. With how Activision was able to recapture the magic of characters like Crash and Spyro in their gameplay despite not being the original creators, I'm sure other developers could take a hold of Jak and Daxter and find a way to do it right. So yeah, let's hope we see the return of Jak and Daxter in 2020, or maybe even 2021 considering that will be their 20th anniversary. Game number 2 is a game that does need to be remade. It's the Rayman trilogy. Ubisoft brought Rayman back in the early 2010s with Rayman Origins and Legends and then let him fall right back into obscurity again. But even then, for the brief time that he did come back, it was still only 2D. Lots of Rayman's biggest fans missed the first game, you know, and they didn't hop on until Rayman 2 and 3. So that's why Origins and Legends didn't take off as big as Ubisoft was hoping. People were wanting a brand new 3D Rayman game. And with the revival of 3D platformers with all the remakes or even brand new games like A Hat in Time, now would be the best time to bring back 3D Rayman. You could even do the entire original trilogy like Crash and Spyro did, and just remake the very first game into a 3D game to fit the rest. That would be a great way to fuel people's nostalgia while also giving them a little taste of something new, because the first Rayman game has never been 3D before. You could have a lot of creative freedom in the different ways you could interpret it. Look, Ubisoft, I know the rabbits are going well for you, but you can have more than one kid-friendly game going on at the same time. So yeah, please, give us new Rayman, even if it's just remakes. Game number 3 is a brand new Crash Bandicoot. No more remakes, no more remasters. Crash is back, now let him do something new. Crash Bandicoot has quite possibly had the single biggest comeback in video game history, not only showing that he was still a popular and beloved platforming icon with the Insane trilogy, but also showing he could still handle multiplayer as well with Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. So now that Crash has done all that, he needs to tell us some new stories and show us some new worlds to explore. There have been rumors and speculation of a brand new Crash game for quite a while now, but nothing announced yet. Hopefully we'll get something soon though. People are expecting a February reveal along with the PlayStation 5 or possibly a June reveal during E3. But either way, even though there hasn't been an announcement yet, people know it's coming. In fact, earlier this month, people started getting some Crash goodies in the mail, just like what happened leading up to the reveal of Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, or the purple eggs leading up to Spyro. People could see me putting this on the list as cheating considering that we all know it's coming despite no announcement, but whatever, I'm just excited for new Crash. Game number 4 is Tekken 8. Despite how strong Tekken 7 is going with its audience growing more and more every single year at EVO, with lots of other fighting game players switching over to it, I do think now is the time to start getting ready for a Tekken 8. It's had 2 very successful seasons of DLC and the 3rd season ain't too shabby either. But I will admit that I would be disappointed if the game got a season 4 instead of the team moving on to a brand new Tekken game. Because for one, when season 3 ends bringing in the final fighter, the character select will be in an even, neat, lined up order, and the customization screen will be lined up just right. A 4th season would just come in and mess all that up. They'd have to rearrange everything and Okay, being serious, the real reason is that I just don't want DLC to take over the game like it did for Street Fighter V. Over half of Street Fighter V's content is DLC, so unless you waited like 4 or 5 years and bought the Championship Edition, you're still sitting there with the base game and a ton to pay for if you want to keep up with the scene. So instead of a Season 4 for Tekken 7, I'd like to see the team move on and finally make Tekken 8, building upon the foundation that Tekken 7 set, since it was a low-budget leap of faith that would determine the fate of the franchise. Kind of like Sonic Unleashed was for the Sonic series. Thank goodness both that and Tekken 7 were successful. Plus, there are a few, like myself, who actually do really care about the story of Tekken and want to see what happens next. So yeah, Tekken 8. Game number 5 is a total pipe dream, but I would love to see a Portal 3. With the Half-Life VR game coming soon, it seems that Valve is finally tiptoeing their way back onto the scene. Portal is likely the furthest thing away from their minds right now, either that or Team Fortress 2, am I right? Plus there's that whole Valve can't count to 3 joke, which it seems like they're purposefully playing into, which is frustrating, but I can still hope. The leap in quality, both in gameplay and story, between Portal 1 and 2 is absolutely astounding, and I want to see how huge of a leap they can make with Portal 3. In terms of story, I have no clue what they could do, because Portal 2 had a pretty good and solid ending. But for gameplay, there's lots of potential. Just seeing what they did with all the goop, the beam bridges, and the floaty laser things in Portal 2, there was a ton of creativity. You even got to shoot a portal at the moon at one point. Not to mention co-op was a lot of fun as well. There's a lot of potential for this puzzle game, and I would like to see them explore it even more. But for now, I will just keep hoping. And those are 5 games that I want to see get announced or announced and released in 2020. Again, let me know what you would like to see down in the comments section below. LeopoldTheBrave out.